Namaskara, the South Indian is here. You know, the flavor of the season, as it were. I will not say month. The flavor of the season is Sanatana Dharma and caste census. Even as you and I hurtle towards Lok Sabha elections in 2024, these two issues are going to really dominate every political discourse across India, whether it's the north, south, east or west. In almost every election rally, one hears Rahul Gandhi endorsing the need for carrying out a caste census in state after state. His logic being those who have more numbers should have appropriate social and political capital.
तो पहला कदम यह है नरेंद्र मोदी जी, ओबीसी सेंसस जो है उसका डेटा आप पब्लिक कर दीजिए, देश को बता दीजिए इस देश में ओबीसी हैं कितने। दूसरा कदम, ये जो रिजर्वेशन पे 50% का कैप लगा रखा है कि देश में 50% से ज्यादा रिजर्वेशन नहीं मिल सकता, इसको आप हटाइए। दूसरा कदम, सचमुच में आप ओबीसी की बात करते हो, सचमुच में आप शक्ति देना चाहते हो, तो ये जो 50% का रिजर्वेशन का कैप है इसको परे करिए। तीसरी बात, जो दलित हैं, आदिवासी हैं, उनकी जितनी आबादी है उतना रिजर्वेशन उनको दीजिए।
So you just heard him. He spoke about that those whose numbers are large, they should have the legitimate right, I mean politically and socially. And he also spoke about removing the cap which is put by the Supreme Court on reservation. But it's his party, for God's sake. What is happening in Karnataka defies all logic. Let me give you a brief background on how this so-called confusion began on the Socio-Economic Caste Survey in Karnataka. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, that's what we are speaking about, that the kind of confusion it is facing. The Socio-Economic Caste Survey in Karnataka, supposedly Siddaramaiah's pet project. Now, the Siddaramaiah-led Congress government had initiated the survey, popularly known as the Caste Census, in 2015, headed by H. Kantaraj, who helmed the Karnataka State Backward Classes Commission, or KASBCC. The report was finished in 2017, but since then there were a number of reasons given for scuttling the report. Siddaramaiah openly blamed H.D. Kumaraswamy for staying mum on the report. The report also suffered a leak and was in the hands of many. And finally, due to reasons both political and social, Siddaramaiah sat on it and seems like he shall continue sitting on it during his recent tenure also as Chief Minister of Karnataka. You know what? In the last 48 hours, much has changed about the Kantaraj Socio-Economic Survey. First, there were reports that the original hard copy of the Caste Census report had gone missing, and this was confirmed by Backward Classes Commission Chairperson Jayaprakash Hegde. Then it was said that the report of course existed, but only that it doesn't carry the signature of the then member secretary Anbu Kumar.
ಇನ್ನು ವರದಿ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿಲ್ರಿ, ಕೊಡಕ್ಕೂ ಮುಂಚಿತ ಚರ್ಚೆಗಳು ಶುರು ಮಾಡೋದ್ರಿ. ಹೆಂಗೆ ಈಗ ವರದಿಲಿ ಏನಿದೆ ಅಂತ ಯಾರಿಗೂ ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ, ನನಗೂ ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ, ಅದನ್ನ ಬೇಡ ಅನ್ನೋರ್ಗೂ ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ. ಅದು ಬಂದ ಮೇಲೆ ನೋಡೋಣ. ವರದಿ ಕೊಟ್ಟ ಮೇಲೆ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಿದೆ ಅಂತ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗಬೇಕಲ್ಲಪ್ಪ. ವರದಿ ಕೊಡಕ್ಕೂ ಮುಂಚಿತವಾಗಿ ಏನಿದೆ ಅಂತ ಗೊತ್ತಿದೆ ನಿನಗೆ? ಯಾರಿಗೂ ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ. ಸುಮ್ಮನೆ ಹಂಗಿರ್ಬೋದು ಹಿಂಗಿರ್ಬೋದು ಅಂತ ಊಹೆಗಳು, ಗೊತ್ತಾಯ್ತಾ? ಈ ಊಹೆಗಳು ಇದಾವಲ್ಲ, ಇವು ಒಳ್ಳೆ ಬೆಳವಣಿಗೆಗಳಲ್ಲ.
Please note that the report was to be submitted around 26 November to Chief Minister Siddaramaiah, and Jayaprakash Hegde was retiring. But then Hegde was given an extension. Now, even Siddaramaiah in 2021, when Karnataka was ruled by BJP government, had said how the signatures of Anbu Kumar was missing from the report, and there were allegations of the report having vanished into thin air. Where did it go? This is not all. it was being said that this is from Jayaprakash Hegde, that not only the signatures of the member secretary, but also that a very crucial worksheet of the survey report was missing. Now, I am telling you what all happened in the last 48 hours. Now, 24 hours after the initial statements on the entire report going missing, no signatures of Anbu Kumar, etc., 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 the latest from Mr. Hegde is that the caste census data very much exists. It is there. It has not gone missing. He said, and I am quoting him, the data is 100% correct and intact. The data has the signature of the then chairperson, members and member secretary. The data has been uploaded safely in our software developed by the BEL. That is what Jayaprakash Hegde allegedly has said. But apparently, he did concede that some worksheets were indeed missing. Now, along with all this confusion, there is also an open revolt against publishing the caste census report, and by both the Vokkaligas as well as the Lingayats, the two dominant castes or communities in Karnataka. There are enough and more indications that they shall not remain the dominant category, perhaps, who knows, if one goes by the Kantaraj report. Deputy Chief Minister D.K. Shivakumar is one man who, as a Vokkaliga, has registered his protest loud and clear by adding to the chorus that the report is unscientific. Shivakumar said while he was speaking to the media at the Chief Minister's residence, and I quote him here, many communities are fighting for proportional reservation, scheduled caste, Panchamasalis, Veerashaivas and Vokkaligas are all fighting. These demands are cutting across party lines. Certain communities have, however, said that they have not been contacted before the census and hence are demanding a scientific caste census. But Shivakumar also made it clear that as a part of Siddaramaiah's government, he of course supports bringing the caste census to fruition. But then as a Vokkaliga, he has to also stand with his community. Now, in all this confusion, like I said, of this caste census report and what seems like a bureaucratic mess and political machinations, what happens to the Karnataka caste census? Well, we shall find out, but meanwhile the opposition is also attacking the Congress government over the census in Karnataka.
Bharatiya Janata Party is not against the caste census, but the issue in Karnataka is this is an unscientific caste census. Simply because a lot of communities are not being considered. And my simple question is, if this report, this caste census was ready during Siddaramaiah's last tenure, why this caste census was not taken up? Why this caste census was not accepted by the Siddaramaiah himself? Now during Lok Sabha election, why Siddaramaiah is in a so hurry when D.K. Shivakumar, Deputy Chief Minister himself has opposed this caste census? We simply don't understand the hurriedness of Chief Minister Siddaramaiah ji. The caste census, which is supposed to be do the justice to the backward class community, their social and economic class has to be benefited.
The government of Karnataka, Kantaraju report is a 10 years old report. Now the population also increased. The people of Karnataka is telling. So not proper survey is happening. And the missing of a file, original file. That's also allegation. Why Siddaramaiah is so interesting? Not interesting, more interesting, more interesting. Why? Already some communities already demanded for the re-survey. That's why Mr. Siddaramaiah, why too hurry? Let us call all our Swamiji, who is given Vakaligar Sangha, Lingayat Samudaya, other communities also given complaint. That's why I demand the government, don't hurry. Don't.
To make happy their high command.
Yeah, 100%. Make happy Sonia ji, Rahul Gandhi. That's the demand of Mr. Siddaramaiah.
Let's now welcome the guest or the experts into the debate. Nizam Fauzdar, General Secretary and spokesperson of the KPCC, Ashok Gowda, spokesperson of the BJP in Karnataka, Vijay Grover, senior journalist and political analyst, and Bhanu Chandar Nagarajan, also senior political analyst. All of them are joining us on the debate. Namaskara to all of you, and let me also tell you that I'm very happy to see all of you here, and let's keep the politics out of it and try to see it from the prism of understanding what's really has gone on here. First to Nizam. Nizam, it actually, but rather I have to add, it reads like an espionage novel, what all changes can happen. Phir kya hua? Aage, ab aage, that kind of a thing. And I want to ask you that this whole, good to see you laugh, Nizam. Why did the member secretary not sign the report as it's being said? What Anbu Kumar, I mean, he did not sign the report, and there are, there is a kind of a thing that he did not sign the report because he did not think that it was completed. Nizam Fauzdar.
The BJP seems to be so scared of the report. The kind of fear, if you look at, how Vijendra, who is the BJP Karnataka chief, he says, what was the Siddaramaiah government doing when it had the report? When the report was ready, we demitted the office in 2018, and Kumaraswamy's government came, and then the government was robbed by the BJP, and in the last 3.5-4 years, the BJP was ruling the Karnataka state. And they were sitting on this file. Now the question is, when we want to release the caste survey, and how can a file be missing? What is the conspiracy here? The conspiracy is that, if the file is missing, it means who wants this file to be missing is the first question. If the BJP is really serious of giving justice to the various sections of the society, what have they done? They have done nothing.
Okay.
They basically want to basically keep the same old system and reap benefit from the political narrative that
But
they have.
Nizam, is Jayaprakash Hegde part of the BJP? I thought he is not,
No.
because he's the one who told the press that the worksheet is missing. He was the one who said Anbu Kumar's signatures are missing. वो कब से बीजेपी के नुमाइंदे हो गए?
No, let us see. If we cannot blame the Mr. Hegde, we can blame him when it is proof that he has deliberately missed the file. I'm
No
not
one
saying
said
that.
deliberately.
I'm saying if the file is let me finish, ma'am. If the file is missing, how did the file go missing? Who is behind this? Who
Achha.
doesn't want this file to be released?
So is the file missing?
Who doesn't want this caste survey to be released?
Mr. Fauzdar, is the file
possible.
missing?
We can.
Oh my
the
God.
Conspiracy theory and the BJP are synonym to each other.
Achha.
They can plan anything.
Mr. Gowda, do you want to respond to that? Because it's one of the most bizarre things I've heard. Yeah, sir, first of all, Mr. Gowda, let me say, all this has come from the chair, respected honorable chairperson. He has changed his statements, and I am going to say allegedly, because you never know. I hear it, but he has said that first there were no signatures were missing, then he said, listen, the worksheets have gone missing, then he said the entire report is there, it's under the safekeeping of the lock and key. Now Mr. Fauzdar says maybe the report is missing. Mr. Gowda, doesn't it also surprise you totally?
See, apparently our Congress spokesperson does not know the chronological sequences. When was Anbu Kumar member secretary? During the 2016 and 2017, he was relieved from the post.
Right.
He's a good friend of mine. I know what is his schedule. So the point is very simple. When Anbup Kumar's signature was missing, it was in 2017 when the report was supposed to be submitted. The
Yes.
report was ready, believe me or not, in November 2016, and it was
Alright.
supposed to be submitted then. And Siddaramaiah said, wait till 2018 January. And
Okay.
even then, the report was not accepted by the government and it just left like that. That is a part one of the saga. Part two of the saga is the report is 56 parameters are set in the report and not giving the weightage for each of the things. The most scientific survey done on SECC was by BP Mandal Commission during 1979. The report
Alright.
was submitted in
Yeah.
August 1980. And believe me or not, the parameters and the weightage was set by BP Mandal. And the similar pattern should have been asked by then the Chief Minister Siddaramaiah to be applied for the contract.
Yeah, Mr. Gowda, just a minute, let me interject. It's getting to be very interesting. Mr. Gowda, the report was also leaked. Some of my colleagues saw it. I did not see it. I'm going to tell you honestly. Some of my colleagues saw it. Are you also saying, I can't hear you, sir.
The leaked report were shown to me even by my senior journalist friends.
Yeah, right.
In fact,
I didn't see
seen
it. So I am asking you, are you saying it was done in a very unscientific way? Are you saying that the BP Mandal template was not applied to this caste census? Or do you...
Absolutely yes.
Okay.
Absolutely yes. And as well as our KPCC General Secretary should understand what was their intention during the Kaka Kelkar Committee or BP Mandal Commission reports. They throwed it to the dustbin. That is the kind of the commitment they have towards the OBC. In fact, to be honest, SCCC survey was asked by Veerappa Moily in 2009. The same Rahul Gandhi and same Sonia Gandhi said, we do not need SCCC.
No, but Siddaramaiah would have been happy. No, but wait, sir, Gowda sir.
Only them they agreed.
Gowda sir.
Only them they agreed. And GOM,
if the backwards were showing, why did
they not do?
Mr. Gowda, if the backwards were showing more numbers, it would only make Siddaramaiah happy. You know, why should he be unhappy? I don't understand. Maybe it is other political reasons. Yeah, it is. No. Of course it's politics, sir. Of course it's politics. Banu Chandar, I want to ask you that it's such a mess. It's a right royal mess as I see it. Do you think that apart from this is a mess, it's a political mess, but you know what, I am going to stick my neck out and I am also going to say that it seems like it's a bureaucratic kind of a mess. It seems like someone has made a mistake somewhere. You know, Banu Chandar, when I was thinking about it today, I was thinking about when I would get very poor marks in mathematics, my mother would ask me, where is the paper? I say, I lost it. She would say, you lost it? I said, yeah, I lost it. I know all of you are laughing. This is how I survived in class 5 until the final report card came and it showed a red line in maths. Everything else 100, maths 0. So I want to ask you, is something like that happening? I have lost the paper sheet. I don't have it, Amma. I don't know where it's gone. What do you have to say to that?
So the cat ate the homework story is going to inspire politicians, Sudha. You might not be careful with that. So I think what's happening in Karnataka is that on this particular issue of the caste survey, we should keep saying it as a survey. It's not a census because it's not enumerated person to person. So it is a caste survey. What has happened to the caste survey issue is that it is divided on the base of caste and not in terms of parties. Because as you saw, even DKS and Wakaliga leaders from other parties, including the BJP, have actually come out against it. So I think for reasons that are quite obvious, which is that, I mean, the politics of Karnataka might look like as if it is a Lingayat and Wakaliga politics, but approximately these communities add up to probably 25%. So I think these two communities want to maintain their primacy. While there are people like the CM Siddaramaiah who wants to be the leader of the next 75 or want to position himself as the leader of the next the rest 75% of the population approximately. I mean, we don't know the exact numbers right now. So I think this is what is playing out, and I think the spokesperson of the Congress party is siding with what Mr. Rahul Gandhi was saying or what Siddaramaiah was saying. I think there is a pan-India, we can extrapolate this sentiment to all over India. Maybe we'll take it up during the course of the conversation.
Right, all right. Vijay Grover, let me welcome you to the show. Vijay Grover, if we go by the presumption, and I'm saying we are making presumptions here, that if, the numbers are not the way one has imagined it to be, which means that the two dominant communities, Vokaligas and Lingayats, may not have the social and political heft that they actually, have for such a long time in Karnataka politics. And it's maybe the other caste, or if I can say the OBCs perhaps right at the top, or the backwards right at the top. Shouldn't that be making Siddaramaiah happy? Because he seemed to be the hero of the Ahindas. I mean, is he in a conundrum? Is he कि मैं जाऊं तो किधर जाऊं, इधर जाऊं या उधर जाऊं? Because his deputy CM is now saying, listen, there are two avatars. One is a Vokaliga avatar, the other is a deputy chief minister avatar. So Siddaramaiah has really gotten himself into, several knots. Would you concede, Vijay Grover? Unmute yourself, sir. Unmute yourself, Vijay ji.
Yeah, you able to hear me now?
Yes, I can. Thank you.
Yeah, okay. Now, if we were to look at the scenario, Siddaramaiah looks like he's in a cage where, he doesn't know which way to move, because every side he's getting pinned down, either with the Vokaliga community leaders or the Lingayat community leaders and the others who want to, get this report shelved. Now, very clearly, Siddaramaiah has played his politics well. He could have leaked the report that time, because at that time there were talks that, maybe his relationship or his innings with the Congress might not pan out beyond 2018, because there were rumors which were there at that time of him floating a separate outfit. So maybe the report was put in full story during that time. And obviously the JDS, the BJP did not touch it, because they know that, it is like something that could trigger a huge tsunami, and nobody wants a political tsunami at this juncture in the state, and that is where we stand today. So while the Congress looks cornered with the DK Shivakumar having the double role of, Vokaliga leader and the deputy chief minister, the BJP itself actually may not be, caged, tied down at the moment, but certainly there are leaders, even R. Ashok and Vijendra, who may be like, actually giving a sigh of relief if the report doesn't come out. Because, as presumptuous as the report is, or, what we are talking about, the dominance of these two communities, which have been the drivers of politics in the state, certainly seems to be coming down. And that is where there is that, cat amongst pigeons kind of a scenario, where we are seeing that nobody wants the report to be tabled, and let the 2024 elections pass, and then we will see what to do with this entire report, or, what needs to be done. So, except Siddaramaiah, who actually stands to gain, I would say that, in case, the Vokaligas and the Lingayats stall it, it still makes him the tallest OBC leader. Absolutely. And that is where he stands comfortable.
Absolutely. That was my point as well. Nizam Faujdar, coming to you, you also raised your hand. Is there something you want to add to the conversation? But I also want to ask you, again, allegedly, if the chairperson says that a worksheet is missing, apparently that has the methodology which has been adopted. Something doesn't sound right there. No, Nizam Faujdar?
सही बात है, चोर बहुत शोर मचाता है. इतना शोर बीजेपी मचा रही है कि क्या हो गया इस मिसिंग शीट को. ये पिछले 3 साल, in the last 3 years, who was the custodian of those files? Right. In the last 3 years, who was in charge of the government? In the last 3 years, who were supposed to release these papers and this data? They didn't do it. Now they're saying the files are missing. How is it missing? What is the possibility of? Let me ask you. Let me put it this way. What is the intent of the BJP? Why are they scared of these numbers? Why are they not willing to give justice to the various communities across the length and the breadth of the Indian society? Why are they so scared? Why is Vijendra again and again saying we are trying to please Rahul Gandhi and Sonia Gandhi?
Right.
So what if I'm just pleasing Rahul Gandhi and Sonia Gandhi?
Yeah.
These two people are pleased.
What's your party stand on Deputy Chief Minister? How do you look at that complete split personality The role, double
Let
role
me
he's playing. Yeah.
Let me complete.
Yeah.
If only two people are pleased, the rest 140 crore people should be happy that okay, this
Right.
data came in,
Yeah.
it's irrelevant, it is not relevant, we don't really have to bother.
Yeah, sure.
But the BJP's hue and cry, जो आंसू जो मगरमच्छ के आंसू जो इतने बह रहे हैं ना, इससे सुनामी आ जाएगा, ये सही बात है।
चलिए आपकी बात मैं मान लेती हूँ मगरमच्छ है, लेकिन आप ये बताइए, ये आप बताएं कि डीके शिव कुमार का जो डबल रोल है राम और श्याम का, उसके बारे में आप क्या कहेंगे? दैट ही इज प्लेइंग दिस डबल रोल, सीता और गीता और राम और श्याम, वॉट एवर यू वॉन्ट टू कॉल इट. ही इज अ वोकलिगा लीडर, yes he is, but he is also the deputy chief minister. You are saying that if the BJP and others have such a problem about the permutation and commutation, the matrix changing, your own deputy chief minister has a problem, no Nizam Fauzdar?
No, the Congress party has one single ideology which says justice to everybody, equality to everybody. Everybody needs to progress. Everybody needs to get educated. Everybody needs to get jobs.
I want the producers to put up that quote of DK Shivakumar on the screen right now, where he clearly says it's unscientific. He says, listen, I have to also, he says, many communities are fighting for a proportional reservation, scheduled castes, Panchamachalis, Veerashaiva and Vokkaligas are all fighting. These demands are cutting across party lines. Certain communities have, however, said that they have not been contacted before the census and hence are demanding a scientific caste census. He's also said what is wrong with it. Mr. Gowda, go ahead, because the Congress seems to be on a back foot now.
Let me answer, Sudhaji, let me answer. You said Ram और श्याम, सीता और गीता. उनके स्टेटमेंट में मुझे कहाँ से दोगलापन दिखता है, मुझे बताइए.
बिल्कुल है.
He is very clear. He is very clear. He is simply saying, I may not agree to the methodology, but the caste survey needs to be done. It needs to be. He says it's
unscientific.
So there is no
He's dismissed it. He's dismissed the Kantaraju caste census. Mr. Gowda, go ahead. Mr. Gowda, let's hear Gowda. Let's hear Mr. Gowda.
And 15 commission reports have been submitted in Karnataka. 15 commission reports. What was the Congress government? 55 years they were ruled in Karnataka. What were you doing? What were you doing? We have been in power only for 8 years and we have done the justice for everybody. You want to come and see? Please come to my village. Everybody has been benefited by the schemes of Modi government and the Karnataka BJP government then.
Mr. Gowda, but of course you agreed that you were in power for 8 years, no? What did Basavaraj Bommai and the rest do? What did BJP do? It's all very well for you to shout from the rooftops today. What did you do with the report? You are as unfair as the rest of the government, sir.
Let me tell you, Sudhaji. Let me tell you. This report was very unscientific, which was leaked.
Okay.
And in fact, when the parameters were checked, that itself was very clear indicator that this report cannot be accepted by any government. And Siddaramaiah was playing a mischief during his first tenure, as well as now too. There is a drama between DK Shivakumar and Siddaramaiah. Nin hattang mado, you chutang mado, nan hattang altini. Meaning to say that you pinch me, I will start crying. That is the drama between DK Shivakumar and Siddaramaiah, which has been plotted and just to fool the people of Karnataka and Kannadigas.
Right, Vijay Grover, I want you to put a perspective to this entire story, because according to me, it's a mess. And I don't think that the people of Karnataka deserve this. It's their right to know, after all, I want to ask you something, that, if things are not scientific or the worksheet is missing, so on and so forth, don't you think that the entire exercise will be impacted, Vijay Grover? I mean, maybe you have to go back to the storyboard. Over the years, things have changed. On top of that, you say a worksheet is missing. Then someone says that Anbu Kumar signatures allegedly are missing. What is going on here, Vijay Grover? How do you even go with the welfare measures? How do you even start? And for Siddaramaiah, it's going to be very difficult coming, because 2024 is knocking at our door.
See, there are two ways to look at it, Sudha. And I'm sure my learned friends over here know how the government works better than you and me. Now, one thing is very clear, that everything is documented not at a single point. It is documented at multiple places. When this survey was done, as you know, it's being not called census, it's being called a survey or a report. it has been done under the supervision of Tehsildars and by district commissioners who are at the magisterial level. Now, clearly, when they submitted their findings of the reports, very clearly they had one thing in mind, and was very clearly that they would ensure that the data was given to the commission and the commission processed it. Now, even if some working sheets are claimed to be missing, which is something which sounds very funny for something which was kept in custody, that it was found to be missing. It can always be recalculated because the DC offices in every district would have a copy of the data which was submitted. So it is not something that is like, we lost few papers and we don't know where to find them, kind of a thing. Now, the second aspect over here is, what is the purpose of this report? The purpose of this report was to ensure that benefits reach the backward castes and communities on the basis of their share. Now, who was it supposed to benefit? It was supposed to benefit the people, not the politicians. So people over here, why are we even thinking of depriving them on the basis of, whatever has been the findings of the report and whether it can be acted upon or not? Now, the fear that we find in every political party, and I'm saying that nobody is out of it, is the fact that the political leverage ahead of 2024, the two dominant castes do not want to lose that bargaining power. And that's the reason why we find this confusion that, be it the Lingayat community or be it the Vokalika community, they do not want to be seen as someone with a diminished power just ahead of 2024, because the negotiations for the seat or the piece of caste could be impacted.
But
so
the
let's look at it whether.
The other side of the coin, Vijay Grover, is that they do not want to see their powers being diminished. The other side is, Bhanuchandar, is that it is very unfair because those who actually deserve it, and this is a party which has gone on, said jiski jitni sankhya utni bhagedari and all that, they are actually going against the very principle of that. And more than anything else, if a particular community has large numbers, they need to have the social capital as well as political capital. Would you agree, Bhanuchandar?
Absolutely, Sudha. I think this is the caste census is a double-edged sword, and there is an aspect of it that would create conflict, and we are seeing much of it here. So this is perhaps the same reason why Mamata Banerjee was against the caste census, right? So we want to know, like, who are the communities that.
I think his frame is frozen, and we were waiting for him anyways, but I've completely run out of time, and we are going to bring you something very important, and my guests are all going to agree with me. It's about our brothers who are stuck in the tunnel and what's the latest report on that. So let me thank Nizam Faujdar, Mr. Gowda, thank you. Vijay, thanks very much for joining us. Bhanuchandar, sorry that you lost your connection, but thanks very much. It's not a story which is going away. Perhaps tomorrow yet another round to do the same story. It's a story which defies north, south, east, west India. It is our story. The story of 41 workers who are stuck inside the tunnel in Uttarkashi, and I'm going to bring you the latest on that. It's a race to rescue the 41 workers trapped inside the partially collapsed tunnel in Uttarkashi, and there's of course light at the end of the tunnel. The rescue workers are barely 10 to 12 meters away from reaching the trapped workers. Nearly 45 meters of the escape pipe had been inserted into the debris till this morning, and the operation to free the workers is now in the final stretch. In all, 57 meters of the rubble has to be breached to reach the workers.
बहुत चुनौती वाला काम है ये, तो इस पे हर वक्त ये उम्मीद रखना कि अगले 2 घंटे में हम निकाल लेंगे, ये मैं समझता हूं कि सरासर गलत है। इससे क्या है कि वर्कफोर्स के ऊपर भी एक प्रेशर पड़ता है। और आपको मैं ये याद दिला दूं कि इस स्थिति में वर्कर्स जो हैं वो रिस्क पे हैं और उतनी ही रिस्क पे जितने सब स्टाफ है जो काम कर रहा है वहां पर, जो रेस्क्यू टीम है वो उतनी ही रिस्क पे है। तो बोथ आर एट रिस्क। अंदर जो उसको रेस्क्यू करना है और जो रेस्क्यू करने वाला है, बोथ आर एट इक्वल रिस्क। सो वी हैव टू केटर फॉर द सेफ्टी ऑफ all these people at the same time.
However, last night the drilling machine had hit a hard obstacle and drilling of the 800mm diameter steel pipes was halted for some hours. More pipes have had to be inserted to prepare the escape route for the stuck workers. Officials therefore are saying that it may take around 15 hours perhaps or more before the last pipe to prepare the escape passage for the trapped workers is fully pushed through the rubble and the workers are finally brought out. Outside the tunnel, arrangements have been made to provide immediate medical care for all the workers once they are evacuated. A 41-bed separate ward has been prepared at the community health center in Chinyalisore for them. As many as 41 ambulances have been kept ready outside the tunnel to rush them to hospital as soon as they come out. A 15-man, NDRF team has been enlisted for the rescue mission as well, with a paramount focus on ensuring the safety and prompt evacuation of the 41 trapped workers. The government is escalating its rescue operations at the tunnel. Specifically, attention is directed towards a 2-kilometer section of the tunnel where concrete work has been completed to fortify the safety measures of the workers.
चलिए भाई, बहुत हम लोग बिल्कुल पास पहुंच गए हैं और बड़ी आप लोगों की हिम्मत है और बहुत ही आप लोगों के लिए सब लोग प्रार्थना कर रहे हैं यहाँ। और हम लोगों को उम्मीद भी है, मैं भी रात से आ गया हूँ, जनरल साहब भी आ गए हैं यहाँ पर और प्रधानमंत्री जी रोज आप लोगों के बारे में रोज चिंता कर रहे हैं, रोज अपडेट लेते हैं मुझे सवेरे 7 बजे। आज भी अभी आया है, अभी बताया है, बिल्कुल 45 मीटर से आगे हम लोग आ गए हैं और मुश्किल से 10 मीटर और आना है। बीच बीच में क्या है कि सरिया वगैरह आ जा रही है ना, ये तो तो आप लोगों को पता ही है। थोड़ा सा ये है कि हिम्मत बता के, और किसी सबकी तबीयत वगैरह अच्छी ठीक है ना वहाँ पर? चलिए, नहीं चिंता एक्चुअली में नहीं, बहुत सब लोगों की दुआ है कि जल्दी से जल्दी सब लोग बाहर आ जाएंगे। हम लोग प्रार्थना कर रहे हैं और यहाँ पर सारी चीजें, एम्बुलेंस की व्यवस्था कर रखी है बाहर, जैसे ही आप लोग बाहर आएंगे अस्पताल की व्यवस्था है, उसके अलावा जो भी सब इंतजाम हो सकते हैं वो सारे के सारे हम लोग कर रहे हैं।
In this secured section of the tunnel, essential services are operational. Both electricity and water supply are also functioning and provisions such as cooked food and medicines are being delivered as well.
Between the challenges faced by the rescuers to rescue workers from inside the Silk Yara tunnel where they have been trapped for so many days now, the concerns are being raised regarding infrastructural development in the Himalayan region. Concerns have been regularly raised by the environmentalists, the activists regarding big projects being built in the Himalayan region. Actually, Himalayas are very young mountains. They are fragile, they are prone to earthquakes, landslides and land subsidence. There are regular collisions happening between Indian tectonic plates and Eurasian tectonic plates here. Due to these collisions, the Himalayan region is still growing. Collisions keep happening and the region keeps growing, which makes it very fragile. This particular area falls in the main thrust of the lesser Himalayan region and is very sensitive and prone to these kind of accidents if proper care is not taken. But you can see that this is it is very important for the land to be surveyed once these kind of projects are being constructed. Before we start construction on such big projects, it is important that land survey is done and the land is studied and rocks are studied, if the rock is strong enough to hold these kind of projects or not, or the rocks are fragile. All these tests should be done. So there are investigations would be done later on, of course, on this, whether these kind of surveys were conducted while constructing this tunnel. But earlier also in Joshimath we saw the incidents of land subsidence happening, and the entire town was in danger. It is rather in danger. There also environmentalists had raised concerns about the projects that are happening in and around that area, that sensitivity of the Himalayan region was not considered, was the blame that was being put by the environmentalists on the government. But if we talk about this project, this is part of the Char Dham project. Here the roads are being widened, trees are being felled, and then you can see these kind of tunnels are also being constructed. So environmentalists are of the view that they are the sensitivities of the Himalayan region is not being considered, and they of course these kind of projects are important as far as religious importance of the project is concerned, and also the strategic importance of the project is concerned. But it is also important to consider the sensitivities of the Himalayan region before building such big projects in these sensitive areas.
This is going to be a very, very important milestone, I think, for all of us. People who've been praying, people who've been spending sleepless nights to see the faces of those workers who shall be with us very soon, but safely, and no pressure on those who are involved in rescue operations. Prayers and hope which has to spring eternal. And with that note, the South Indian here says goodbye. I'll see you tomorrow with lot of stories from the south of India only on this show, which is called The South Indian.
GPT. It can generate codes and human-like responses through text, write stories, and do a lot more.
I work in a newsroom with anchors, researchers and scriptwriters, graphic artists, producers, video editors, camera crew. But does a newsroom really need them today?
All of us have to think about unique and distinctive value addition that cannot be automated or repeated or replaced by a machine.
ChatGPT may kill many companies.
A human has to be in the loop with an ability to control this.
Dark Side of the Boom. Streaming now.
With all this gear, you must be wondering if I'm climbing a mountain. Well, let me give you a wider look of this place. This is Asia's largest mountain of shame.
A mountain of waste, almost the height of the Qutub Minar.
When you enter capital cities of some of the biggest countries in the world,